It's often been said that art is the international language, and certainly what is going on now in front of San Francisco City Hall is international indeed. The incredible, colorful sculptures of Taiwanese artist Hung Yi. And with us today is the curator of that exhibit, Cathy Hsu. Welcome.
Hi, David Perez. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad that we have made these exhibitions successfully.
Well,
yes.
It has been in no small part due to you. I know you've been working very hard on this. How long have you been in San Francisco this time?
I've been here for almost 1 month, and I will continue staying till we completely dismantle all the artworks in the very beginning of May.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, before we talk about Hung Yi, tell me, how did you get involved in the art world? How did you become the curator of the InSian Gallery in Taipei?
Yes, I personally love art since I was a little kid. But I didn't really have that many chance to get involved in this industry. I love the art, and I love to go to see every exhibitions. But this time, this is the first time I came back to Taiwan after I traveling around over the world for studying as well as for working. So once I got back to Taiwan, I was thinking, I should do something that I really want and I really like. So I chose that I should go back to the art field.
Right. Now, you were born and raised in Taipei, but then you went to school in Switzerland?
Yes, I completed the education in Taiwan, but I was once here in San Francisco, and I was once in Sydney in Australia, and then I was once in Switzerland for the master degree, and there.
Right.
I was working there.
Now, where did you learn your English? I mean, my husband and I traveled to China, and we've been to Taiwan before, and your English is extraordinarily good.
Really? I would say I was totally educated in Taiwan with my English, but I couldn't tell if I pronounce well or if I speak well with my accent.
So we've been testing you a lot the last few weeks.
Yes.
Now, for those people who haven't heard of Hung Yi a little bit, talk to me about not only Hung Yi, the artist, but how he got the idea to do these incredible sculptures. Because we're going to look at some pictures here of Hung Yi in his workshop, but also these are unique. I've never seen sculptures like this in Asia or in the United States.
And this really interesting, and it really surprised me as well at the very beginning when I saw the artwork from Hung Yi. But I think he's got the talent, and he's born to be the artist. Mm-hmm. Yes, and everything that you say, you can probably see from the San Francisco Civic Center, the plaza. Almost like 90% of his artworks are connected with the animal, but he reshaped it. He reshaped it, and for example, maybe normally the animal, they have some ankles or something, but he tried to simplify the shape.
Right. I mean, because you look at these, for instance, there's the horse in front of Civic Center.
Yes.
There's the water buffalo with the eagle on top, and you can tell it's a real animal, but it almost has a mythic quality to it.
Yes. And you can find some interesting that most of the animals are round. And in Mandarin, the round means humble. Yes, so they make the meanings on the sculpture as well.
So you mean the roundness of shape or the roundness of tones?
The round of the shape, and when we speak in Mandarin with that adjective, the pronunciation is exactly with the word of harmony. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, Hung Yi's work is known in Asia and in Taiwan, but this is the first time he's been in San Francisco, or the second time?
This is the first time for him, and we've tried. Actually, we've had a lot of exhibitions in Taiwan, basically, but we try to. We tried to bring him to international, and the first one for the international exhibition was in Japan, Hakone Museum, and this is the first time we bring him to the Western country.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that this exhibit is also born out of a golf game.
Yes.
So explain to me and to our viewers, what is the connection between the artwork of Hung Yi and something that I had never heard of, the golf tournament known as Swinging Skirts?
Yes. Actually, the chairman of Swinging Skirts Golfing Foundation, he's Mr. Wang, and he's a really popular art collector in Taiwan. He's got passion in art. Also, he's got passion on golfing. So he both of him and the owner of the gallery, Mr. O, they were once discussing about the combination of these together. So last year, both of them brought the artwork and the golf competition into San Francisco.
Right, and this week actually it's in Harding Park in San Francisco. I know because San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee dedicated this exhibition the other day, and he spent a lot of time talking about golf. I don't know how many San Franciscans knew what an avid golfer our mayor is.
I heard about the plane from Mr. Lee, the mayor, and I think he loves the artwork from Hung Yi as well, and that's the reason why we were here. He was once mentioned about that these artworks look spectacular. You should be here again. That's the reason why we come here again this year.
Right. I think it's caught a lot of people off guard. I mean, the sculptures are large. I've already had several people tweet me and send Facebook greetings because there is a hashtag for the exhibit @HungYiSF, and they've said they hope they could be permanent. Is there any chance at all of any of these sculptures staying here in San Francisco?
We have said, but we have some other plan. Like since actually Hung Yi is quite famous in Taiwan, and we have scheduled a lot of exhibitions, and we probably need to go back to Taiwan for our next exhibition and next preparation work as well.
One of the things that I learned just from this exhibit, and this is as someone who goes to China on a regular basis for business, is the similarity between the language in Taiwan and China, but also the difference. Because the spoken language is basically the same. Mandarin is spoken in Taiwan. In the south of China, Cantonese is spoken. But what is the difference between how it's written in Taiwan and in China?
Both in China, the mainland of China, and Hong Kong, they use simplified Chinese. But in Taiwan, we use traditional Chinese, which is even harder to write, but with the really, really ancient and traditional meaning in the wordings.
Well, explain to me how this divide came about, because I think a lot of people have no idea, first of all, how to speak or write Chinese, but what's the difference between traditional Chinese and simplified Chinese, and why? How did it happen?
I didn't really know why it happened, but the only thing that I know is all the traditional Chinese that we even use nowadays, it's really, really the one that they used ancient or 100 years ago, but at that time they draw the pictures for the words, but now they shaped it with the proper word.
Right.
So
well, and of course, politically, what happened during the Communist Revolution, Mao instituted simplified Chinese for the mainland, but Canton, meaning southern China, and Hong Kong and Taiwan, they've kept the traditional. I
don't think the Hong Kong keeps the traditional Chinese.
So you think they use
simplified Chinese actually?
Can you read both?
Yes, of course, but not for most of the Taiwanese, or on the other way for Chinese to read traditional Chinese.
We only have a few moments left, but I want to ask you what has been your impressions as someone who saw San Francisco when you were a young college student, and now that you're back as a professional curator. How has San Francisco changed in the last 10 years?
Oh, I didn't know, but I would say I feel more like a city this time. And I feel more international, I would say. And also the people and the economic, maybe, and the hospitality industry. Everything goes well here. And I saw a lot of differences, especially for the tourism industry.
So it's growing. We're not quite as big as Taipei yet, but
I would say it's pretty much the same. Like 10 years ago in Taipei, we didn't really have that much traffic or everything, but this time, nowadays, yes, in Taipei, they've changed a lot. But comparing to China, yeah, that's going to be...
Great. Last question. What is your favorite of the 19 sculptures that are currently here by Hung Yi?
I personally love the one that we print on the flyer. It's Formosa cicada deer. And the reason why it's called Formosa sika deer, because that's the national animal of Taiwan. And we are used to be named Formosa instead of Taiwan.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the mythical animal of
Yes,
Taiwan,
exactly.
Formosa.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, David.
We've been speaking with Cathy Hsu of the InSian Gallery in Taipei, Taiwan. Next up, we're going to learn about the continuing work of UCSF celebrating its 150th anniversary this year. We'll be right back.